C-Fan Sports, the sports show that is dedicated to Seattle sports fans. My name is Dave. This is Kevin. Kevin, how you doing this fine Tuesday evening?
I'm doing great. I'm excited. We're back talking about the Mariners, and
Right.
I'm just excited as it could be. So
you enjoyed your All-Star break? Is that what you did?
I did. I actually took a trip over to Bainbridge Island and spent some time with family and had a good time.
Excellent. Now you're all refreshed.
No,
You're ready to bat over 300 for the next foreseeable future with a 1.0 ERA. So you're going to be ready to take us home into the playoffs, correct?
no, I need a break from the vacation.
You need a break from the vacation. You need a vacation from your vacation.
Exactly.
Gotcha. All right, Kevin. So last week we talked a little bit about a pitcher that was on the rise. And unfortunately, as we have one going up, we're starting to see the decline of another one. He's had a couple of rough outings. He was our all-star. He had a little bit of the COVIDs there for a minute. Kevin, what do you think is the problem? Why we're starting to see a little bit of a decline with Yusei Kikuchi? Talk to me, Goose.
Well, I think two things, mainly in my opinion, and this is just my opinion as a fan. I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but I read in quite a few different areas that he's been sick for the last week with the flu type of system or symptoms. And then the fact that Yusei is one of those guys that loves routines. He loves to pitch every 5 days or 6 days, whatever it is, and just be consistent and not have changes and just love the consistency. And I think that was missing because of the All-Star break and having to fly to Denver, and just things did not set the way it should have set, in my opinion. I thought his slider looked good. The cutter was not good at all, and his fastball was quite a bit slower than normal. I mean, not quite a bit, but a few ticks slower than what it normally is. So it was creeping down. I'm not panicking yet. I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think he will turn it around, and we'll see the same UK or YK, as like I call him, in the future.
So you don't have any too real concern about him going forward?
No,
Okay.
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, and Logan continues to impress on the mound. Man, I just can't say enough good about Logan.
Yeah, I'm not ready to call him the ace yet either, still, but
nope.
Well,
I'm going to bring you along kicking and screaming.
He's kind of making me reconsider everything. So,
all right, Kevin. So from the beginning of our extravaganza that we like to call the C-Fan Sports, the main question that we have had all along is whether we're buyers, sellers, extenders, where we fit. And there's been a little bit of movement this week as far as whether we are in one of those camps. It looks like Mitch is willing to play out this contract and go into free agency and test the market and go for a big payday. Now, Kevin, he's been invaluable to us. He's been a hitting machine. He has saved us in many games with his bat and his glove, for that matter. Okay. Do we just let him play this contract out and walk, or do we try to get something out of him? I mean, has your opinion changed at all on whether you feel we should try and get something out of him at this point in time?
If we are going to trade him, or if we are going to let him write out his contract and let him go after the free agent and try to hit the market himself, I don't know. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. We're probably still 2 years out from having everybody up. Kyle Lewis is probably still out till middle to the end of August. You got Jared Kelnick, who's starting to hit. He's starting to play well. And then we got Julio Rodriguez, who, is still in Double-A. So he still could be a year out, year and a half out. I like to see Haniger stick around, but in the long run, if he isn't going to sign with us an extension like next year, then we need to get rid of him, and we need to get something
You,
for him.
do you feel that we have kind of shifted gears into this seller mode, especially when it comes to him?
I don't think we switched gears. Yeah, we could get more for him this year than maybe next year. I don't know that answer, but this year, if we are going to try to make a playoff run, then we need him this year. We don't have the rest of the bats or the rest of what he's done for this team this year. We don't have that in another outfielder. So we really, unless we trade for an outfielder with that ability, which I don't know if they're out there.
Right.
So, and then we got the same issue coming up in next year to the year after that. I mean, what do you do when you got all these outfielders? I mean, we got, even in the minor league system, we got some talented outfielders. I mean,
right.
So if Mitch isn't wanting to re-sign, then I think that he's forcing the hands of the GM to be able to trade him. And I don't want to trade him. I'm a huge Mitch Haniger fan. I do not want to trade him. I mean, we're talking about the AL player of the week. I mean, I don't want to trade him. But if he's going to
let me ask you this question.
If he's going to force our hand, then we don't have a choice.
Do you think that he is looking behind him and seeing what's coming up and seeing that maybe I don't have a future here? Do you think that possibly could be what's going on? Or he just flat out doesn't like it in Seattle, wants to get to a big market team?
Yeah, I mean, you could look at it both ways. I mean, I don't see that there is one way or the other. I think he's got to be looking at what's coming up behind him and all the talk about these three outfielders that are coming up. Two of them are already here with Kyle Lewis and Kelnick. So the future is here. And Julio Rodriguez is not going to sit on the bench anywhere. He is going to be playing every day.
Okay.
And so, yeah, the writing on the wall is there. So, yeah, if I'm Mitch, I'm thinking what's my chances of playing every day? And, he's got to be looking out for his family and getting that paycheck, because he is going to get paid. Okay. Whether it's from Seattle or somebody else, he's going to get paid.
Well, I think Seattle was willing to pay him. I just, at this point in time, just from if reading between the lines, what the GM is saying is that, there's not been a whole lot of negotiating on his part.
Right.
So we could only want him to play here so long, and then let him walk. At this time, right now, we are at peak value for him.
Correct. I agree with that.
So we're going to get the most in return right now.
Yeah, and it wouldn't shock me if he does get traded.
It wouldn't shock me either.
No.
And that would bring us to the future, Kevin. You know how much I love to talk about the future?
Yeah.
So how about we do this? Spin our way through the minor leagues.
Well, before we do that, I'd like to talk about the big club. I mean, last week we won 2 out of 3 from the Angels. And let's talk about Mitch. I mean, he was the AL player of the week. 5 for the 3 games against Anaheim. He was 5 for 11, 455 batting average over the 3 games. He had 2 home runs, a double, 2 walks, 7 runs scored, 7 runs in 3 games, and 6 RBIs. He had a heck of a series. And I mean, that's just unbelievable. And let's talk about flexing. I mean, once again, steady flexing. 7 innings, 6 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. YK, 5 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. And then Logan Gilbert, 5 1/4 innings or 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts.
That sounds a little bit like ace material right there.
Well, only 5 1/3 inning. That's not.
Yeah, I know. You want that 7 innings out of him.
So that's it that I have for the Mariners. I just thought it was
for the major leagues. Yeah, I didn't mean to rush us into the minors, Kevin. I just thought we would. I'm so excited about our future that I went that fast.
Oh yeah, so, no worries.
No worries. So how about we start there then in Tacoma, and how did the Rainiers look last week? And
well, I mean, it was kind of interesting week. I mean, we had 4 wins, 5 losses last week. However, because there's couple double headers, and we kind of are running this podcast a couple days late because I was on vacation.
Hey, you were in spring. You were at the All-Star break, so that's okay.
So I want to talk about Jose Marmoleos.
Can I sing the song?
No.
Okay.
In that time span of over the week that we talked about, he batted .441, 15 for 34. He had 9 runs, 14 RBIs, 2 walks, and 7 home runs.
Wow.
To me, the writing on the wall, he won't be sitting down there very long. I cannot imagine. I mean, his current batting average, even before the .441, is at .370.
Where are we going to put him, Kevin?
I don't know. Somebody's got to go.
Somebody's got to go. Okay.
I mean, somebody's hitting .370, just had a week of .441. How do you let him just not come up? He's got to come back up.
All right.
And because of Cal Raleigh's going to the majors, our buddy Brian O'Keefe, the catcher from Arkansas, got called
promoted.
Up. He got promoted, and he batted this week 9 for 28 for .321 batting average in AAA. He had 3 runs, 3 RBIs, 1 walk, 3 extra base hits, and with 1 home run.
What idiot was worried about our catchers?
I have no idea, but he's on the other side of the screen of me.
Maybe me.
So anyway, with that, I mean, I think Tacoma's, I mean, they're pretty solid. They're second in their division at 34 and 30. We still don't have a lot of high quality pitching yet. There's a couple guys making a run, getting better. The ERAs are going down, getting a few more wins. So they're looking better. Ian McKinney, his ERA is still extremely high, but instead of 0-2, he's now 2-2. So,
all right. Well, that's improvement.
Yeah. So things are looking good for Tacoma.
All right, Kevin. So now we're breaking out our thumbs and we're hitchhiking across the United States, heading to Arkansas. Tell us what's going on in Traveler Land. Sounds like we've been robbing from them a little bit.
Well, we are, but Carter Benz, the catcher from Everett, got called up to take over for Brian O'Keefe.
Okay.
Now, he didn't do as good this week. He batted .153 since he's been promoted. But so not only was Carter Benz called up, Austin Shinton, our third baseman, that I got to be careful with his last name. He was called up. He was called up to AA on July 16th.
Okay.
And today, Zach Deloche was called up from single A to AA as well. And then Matt Brash, a pitcher, was also called up on July 14th, and he's pitched his first game, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks.
Any strikeouts?
7 strikeouts.
That's a pretty good day at the office, Kevin.
That's a pretty good day at the office.
7 punch outs. Pretty good day.
And he's got a 3.6 ERA since over that first game, but still, it was a solid first game in AA.
What kind of wins and losses did the Travelers have last week?
Last week, the Travelers had 4 wins, 3 losses. They're second in their division at 35 and 30. Julio Rodriguez, since he's been promoted to the Travelers, he's batting .280. So his batting average has dropped a little bit, but he just took off to the Olympics in Tokyo.
He's everywhere, isn't he?
He is everywhere.
All right, Kevin.
But since he's been with the Travelers, I just want to real quick. He's had 10 runs, 9 RBIs, 9 walks, and 3 home runs. So
not bad.
Still being productive.
There we go. All right, Kevin, let's head back to the Pacific Northwest to Everett. Tell me what's going on with the Aqua Sox.
Well, the only thing that's going on with the Aqua Sox that I could find, Patrick Frick, our shortstop, is still batting .316. He's still tearing it up. Jack Larson, the outfielder, is batting .306. And Victor Labrada, the guy from Montecito, an outfielder was called up on July 20th. The Aqua Sox had 4 wins last week, 3 losses. They're still in first place by 4.5 games.
Gotcha.
42 wins and 22 losses.
Oh.
So congratulations to all those guys being called up.
Excellent. All right, Kevin, should we head down south to the Nuts?
We should.
All right.
Well, it's not a pretty sight down there.
Well, I can't believe, I don't know how it could be. There's been a lot of robbery coming out of there.
Well, they had 1 win and 6 losses last week.
Oof.
They've dropped down to 3rd place at 36 wins and 30 losses.
Oof.
They have had 6 straight losses.
All right.
Novel Marte is still the bright spot, and he's batting .279, so his average has gone down a little bit more. Now, Sam Carlson's last outing was way better than it has been all season. So Sam Carlson, who is one of the top 30 prospects in the Mariners farm system, is finally turning it around and starting to pitch well.
Good.
So excited for that.
Excellent. All right. So that's our trip through the minors.
Yep.
All right. So for the most part, our minor system is plugging right along.
Yeah.
Except for Modesto, but
yeah,
not a lot of good comes out of Modesto.
No.
All right, Kevin. Well, I think that's going to wrap up Mariner Weekly this week. Kevin, how about we do it again next week? What do you think?
I'll be here, and I'll even be on time. I won't be on vacation.
All right, then Sunday it is. Look for us Monday morning. Please subscribe. Please turn on your notification bells. Leave thumbs up. Thumbs down if you want.
No.
Leave us some comments. Let us know what we're doing right or wrong. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. Peace.
Peace.